Don't separate things. It isn't related to the non-relating itself. The mind is in the mind. Don't separate. The separation is a desire. You cannot use desire with this. It isn't about the mind. That's it. That is. Don't have to separate anything from anything. It's not related to the non-relating itself. Is dissolving the separation. Separate the body, the mind. This is to dissolve all separations. The separation is a desire, a cause of suffering, a cause of samsara, and it is a practice. So now the non-human is talking about not related to the non-related itself. It means that not related to all the feelings and things. No, you have to step back and not related to the non-relating itself. The non-relating dissolve the non-relating. It means that it's still not the essence if you still trying not to relate to things. It's not true to the essence yet. So if we're not related to the non-relating itself, it means that we don't have to do anything, we don't have to practice anything. Yes, and the only thing left to do is to bless the samsara, to bless the sentient beings, make a conclusion for the samsara constantly. In the practice, that is in the ending itself. In the task, in the practice, in the ending. In the ending doesn't mean to end things. If you still end anything, it isn't the ending because there's still an act of ending. Same as not relate. If you still not relate to things, that is a practice. Have to be not related to the non-relating itself only. That is ending with everything. That is to end the practice. And only the blessing is left, the great compassion. Everything from not relate to the non-relating itself only. Everything from not relate to the non-relating itself only. Use this, make a conclusion for the samsara so the samsara can hear the reminders. This is not the practice. The practice is still samsara, is still about arising and ceasing. All the practice is samsara because it's still circle in a cycle. So how can we know that we come to a total cessation? It isn't about knowing or not knowing anything. So when we not worry about knowing or not knowing, it means that it's a total cessation. Right? Yes, it's the end of the delusion of knowing. Listen to something that has nothing to do with cultivation or practice, and it will end. If you listen to something that encourages you to cultivate and practice, you will keep on practicing. It is not to not relate to anything. From not relate to the non-relating itself, you don't have to not relate to anything anymore. So it means that I don't have to challenge my mind or challenge things in any way. Yes, you better not try to create a problem. It isn't about vipassana or meditation or any challenge of the mind. Don't create problems. Those are all samsara. Vipassana and meditations are samsara. They are samsara in themselves, both vipassana and meditation. It isn't even the is not itself. It isn't about identifying or not identifying. It isn't about attaining or not attaining. It isn't related to either relating or non-relating. It has to end, the ending itself, only to end for the samsara, not to teach the samsara to practice or learn or understand or not understand anything, not to teach anyone to understand or not understand anything. If you are fixated on understanding and not understanding, it's still fixated on arising and ceasing, that is still a samsara. It isn't about understand or not understand anything. Has nothing to do with understanding or not understanding anything. It isn't related to the non-relating itself. So it's not related to either understanding or not understanding, because it's not related to the non-relating itself, so it won't be related to anything. Just keep on helping one another. All dimensions are making this conclusion of the conclusion all the same. So all the practice is karma and karmic payback. Only that. It has nothing to do with nibbana or ending. It has nothing to do with vimutti. But if I still have a karmic difficulties about practice the body, the mind, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Just let it be. It doesn't matter. Make a conclusion of the conclusion like this, on and on. It doesn't matter if you have karmic difficulties or not. It is from not related to the non-relating itself, so it won't be related to whether you have karmic difficulties or karma or not. It's not related. Whether you have karma or karmic difficulties or not, it's not related. But if you are bothered by having karma or karmic difficulties, that is, you having karma overlaying karma. So actually it's not related. So just let it be. It doesn't matter if you have any karma or karmic difficulty left. Whether you have it or not, it's not related. Or you want to be related to not having karma or karmic difficulties. Do you want that? It won't be related to either having or not having karmic difficulties. This is to make a conclusion of the conclusion and the ending. It isn't about ending karmic difficulties or karma or defilement. If you end the defilement, the ending itself is a defilement. So in the ending, and it won't be a delusion in trying to end any defilements. So everything will be softened if you make a conclusion like this. Every matter will be softened. Every matter. Because every matter comes from the same cause of you interfering to cultivate, to accept or resist. It comes from the same cause of you trying something overlaying, starting something overlaying, cultivate, practice something overlaying. That is all the cause. The cause of pain, of karmic difficulties in many ways. So if you stop creating this cause, it won't have a cause to create anything. Like you don't have the root, the same as the tree. If there is no root, the branches and the tree wouldn't grow anymore, because you don't create any more cause. There won't be any more trouble, because you stop the cause. The cause of samsara and the cause of everything is not related to the non-relating itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. Is not the cause of anything. It doesn't create the samsara, so you don't need to cut off the samsara or end the samsara, just not to create the cause, not to let go or manage the samsara, just not to create the cause. From mind, the mind itself is not the cause of anything at all. But if there is a cause there already, whatever is there, it won't grow. Like I said before, there is no root cause anymore. The tree won't grow because there is no cause. The root is not there. Something that's not related to the non-relating itself. That is it. That is the end. You don't need to be detached or attached, arise or cease, renounce or not renounce, cut or not cut, like in the past. You don't need to withstand or not withstand, like in the past. Not to try or not to try, like in the past. From not related to the non-relating itself, that is to end the ending, stop the stopping for you. You don't need to be deluded in trying to withstand or not withstand anything anymore. Don't have to create any situation of cause of suffering anymore. All meditation, mindfulness, perseverance, my power, and in the end has to let it out through certain behavior, because that is against the rule of anicca. Anicca is ever changing all the time in every particle. It isn't about holding in. If you're holding in too much, it's like a volcano. It has to be exploded. So you have to dissolve the mindsets of practice the body or mind to cultivate meditation, mindfulness, or anything at all to attain anything that is wrong to anicca. So the mind has to be opened, not to hold in. Yes, from mind, the mind itself, from not related to the non-relating itself. Everything is from not related to the non-relating itself. Use these reminders to open the mind, not grasping the non-grasping itself, and the mind will be opened, released. So what you have been practicing become the habit of the mind. That is the mistake of all realms of existence. It's wrong to attain something from practicing the mind, because the mind is anicca, anatta. It doesn't hold on to itself. But what is it that trying to attain something from the Dhamma? That is delusion, attachment, and desire that try to attain something from the mind, and it becomes all kinds of sufferings. All the states of the mind are sufferings. Release doesn't hold on to the release. This is Nirodha and Nibbana conclusion. Everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself. That is conclusion of Vimutti and Nibbana, not to practice the mind. Letting go and non-attachment has nothing to do with practice the mind, but they brought together, become attached to each other from the misunderstanding of people. It's only later generation that had this idea of trying to mix Nibbana with the body and mind practice. So you have to be beyond 360 degrees. You have to be limitless. Become limitless.